Okay, hang on. Hi. Okay. Is this happening? Is this on? Hang on, you guys. Sorry, I'm normally starting these like a couple minutes early, but I don't know if I like clicked something different. Oh my god, I'm sitting on my notebook. But YouTube was asking me for like a stream key and live streaming software, and I kind of panicked a little. I didn't cry. I kind of panicked a little. And so, like, the last 5 minutes have been me trying to figure out how to do it the way I normally am doing it. I've got to figure out how to live stream better. This is ridiculous because I love doing the live streams. But I mean, this is some rinky dink business here right now. See, I got to turn it down. That equestrian, hello. And hey, Zadel. Hey, oh, Emily, I forgot to tag you. I'm glad you're here. All right. Hi, I'm Michelle from Unicorn Centaur. If you're watching this on the playback, this is a live stream. I do these every single week, and they involve equestrian topics, equestrian crafts, equestrian art. And if you're a beginner, if you're in the live chat, I can help talk you through any questions you have about whatever project we're doing. And if you're an old pro, you can join the chat to share resources and tips and ideas because I don't know everything. I know I kind of make it seem that way sometimes, but I don't know everything. So welcome to the live stream. Oh, Madeline's here. Rosalina, am I saying that right? Tabitha, oh, and Autism Centaur, hey, Brittany. Oh my gosh, we've got lots of folks in here tonight. Tonight, you guys, I am just kind of working on these. I have to weave in my ends. Hats for my horses. I know it's like spring now and it's warming up everywhere, but I can't help it. These are easy to crochet and I've made like a little pile of them. I need to sell them on my Etsy store. Here's one that's finished with a little pom-pom dilly on top and then little things to attach it under your horse's chin. I have a lavender one. If you're making these, it's pretty easy. It's like the front is one flat piece and then you sort of just keep going. It's a double crochet stitch and you keep going up here and then you sort of add this other piece in the back. It's like 3 pieces pretty much. So I did this one with a different size hook than I was used to. So this is like a draft horse size. It looks like it's something naughty. So, oh no, have I not been tagging you? I need to make a list. I want to make a list of all the people because I'm always forgetting people that are either normally in the chat or people who would be interested, but I just I've tagged you once and I forget. Oh, Hannah's here. Hey. Evie. Oh, hi. Oh my goodness, haven't seen you in a minute. Tabitha, sleepy. Oh, that's okay. Hey, I'm going to sleep right after this. I am literally in my jammies. I'm not wearing a bra. This is like, as soon as we're done here, I'm not even going to wash my face. I'm just going to brush my teeth and go to bed. To make ones that drape down the face like an English show bonnet. I have been working on one of those. I like the open weave pattern for that. And then there's a triangle piece that I need to attach to the front of it. I'm not very good at the ear bonnets though. I discovered that making the hats was so much easier. And so I've just kind of been doing that. But I do want to figure this out. I want to make my horses a bunch of, this is cotton yarn, and the ones that the hats are made of is acrylic yarn. The cotton ones with the open mesh, I feel like I can use those all year round here because I live in a very hot, humid, and warm climate. Hang on. Oh, Autism Centaur, let us know what your new Facebook name is so we can... Oh, hang on. Interested in. I'm getting to it. Oh, Brittany, isn't tomorrow your birthday? Oh, that a question. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Tabitha. Yes, I'm always completely distracted. So tonight's topic, let me put down the chat for a minute so I don't get distracted by it all. Hang on. Tonight, well, let me let me be crocheting while I'm talking. This isn't a horse hat, by the way. This is just like a dishcloth. Um, I'm tired of buying kitchen sponges that just turn out disgusting. So I have been making like a bunch of dishcloths to here. You guys are far away. Why are you far away? Come here. Come here, babies. And then we can put this down a little bit. Oh, not so far down. Hey. So I can be doing something while I am talking. Yes, I was hoping to crowdsource to mine you guys for information. You guys, especially you guys who are here a lot in the chats, like what do you want to do for the live streams? I've been doing live streams now for like 2 years. And for at least one of those years, it's been a lot of crafting live streams. And we have painted helmets. We have made helmet bags out of old t-shirts. We have braided paracord tack. And some of these things are made unicorn horns. Some of the things that we've done are things that I've done a lot before and I'm very experienced doing. But there are some things like braiding paracord tack I had absolutely no experience in. So I had to do a little research beforehand and make sure I had all of the materials and everything. We've even done stuff that are like not really for horses, but are like tangential to the extra equestrian experience. Like the purple you see on the wall here, those are fairy wings we made in one of the live streams, which were actually super easy to make with some wire you can buy at Walmart and some pantyhose and some paint. So one of the things I really want to make is I want to make myself a crown, like a tiara. One of the live streams we did last year was making craft foam armor, like using craft foam and paint and Mod Podge to make it look like a metal crown. That was another thing I had no experience with. And so we just kind of did that in one of the live streams. And I like the look of it and the way it turned out. And for my unicorn videos, I have been wearing these like cheap plastic dollar store tiaras. And I feel like my fairy queen character needs something a little more grand, like a crown. So that's one thing I want to do. Oh my gosh, I'm also supposed to be writing this stuff down because I do this. Hang on. Got my unicorn notebook. Okay. So crown, tiara. I was thinking like we can do things that we've already done for like if you're new to the live streams and you weren't here for the fairy wing one and you don't really want to go back and sit through the last year's live stream or whatever, like we can do that again with using things that I've learned from the last time and move forward with that. I've also thought about making quarter sheets. I don't personally have a need for it, but I would be willing to go through the entire process if we had people interested in that. Hang on, what was I going to write just now? What was I going to write just now? I wasn't going to write quarter sheet. It was something else. Oh, my dragon wing saddle pad. We're still in the middle of that. I made a mock-up, and my next step, maybe next week or the week after that, is to figure out how to start putting it all together. Quarter sheet, dragon saddle pad. I mean, we could also do a horse hat crochet tutorial. So yes. Oh, with Liam. Yes. The video last Sunday, like I was not able to do a video. Last week, one of my son Liam's friends died. He was only like he had just turned 19. This kid, like he was about to go off to college. It was leukemia, and it had been like less than a year when he was diagnosed and being treated and everything. And for the last month or two, he had been in an ICU in Atlanta. And he was a third degree black belt at our Taekwondo school. And so like Liam had done Taekwondo with him for 6 years, like the whole time we've been at Savannah Taekwondo. This kid was so sweet. He was such a warm heart and such a positive influence on people. There were so many people that came to the funeral and so many friends who came up and said, Vic was my friend through a very difficult time in my life. Um, every time I needed cheering up, Vic was always there to help me out. Um, he was just an amazing person, and it's not fair that somebody like that is not on this planet anymore. And I think this young man could have done amazing things with his life. We've spent like the entire last week in mourning. um, and Liam's doing okay, but we had a rough weekend. The funeral was intense, as you can imagine. Like funerals are intense anyway, but funerals for young people are absolutely heart wrenching. And just all of that last week. I couldn't even make a video. I it was like it was Sunday until after the funeral before I was like, "Oh crap, I didn't make a YouTube video this week." Like honestly, it blew me away so much that I couldn't it was like Sunday afternoon and I was like, "I didn't do a video this week. I didn't write a script. I didn't film anything. I I, I didn't do it." And so I went live Sunday evening to be like, "Hey guys, I'm sorry. I dropped the ball, but, it was really rough. So, yeah. Oh, that a question? Oh, you're Kayla. Oh, thank you. You guys, names are different on YouTube, so I appreciate it when you tell me, like, if I know you from somewhere else, like on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Kayla, did you get your parents to, call the vet? Oh, I love you too, Tabitha. We're gonna see each other, I promise. More fun live streams. Um Oh, no, Evie. I hope I did answer your question. If not, ask it again so I'll see it. Try making plush unicorn horns just for fun. I have a pattern that I got on Ravelry for unicorn horns, like to crochet them. Making plush ones, do you mean like plush ones out of fabric? Because that might be kind of fun too. And then kind of soft sculpture the spiral in. Because I've made, I used to teach workshops on how to do soft sculpture puppets. You know, the puppets that are made of like fabric with like fabric, everything is you use a needle and thread to sculpt the features of them, and we could always do that with plush unicorn horns and just see what that's about. Because we've made horns, not unicorn horns, but we made horns out of paper mache, and we tried to make a horn out of silicone putty last year. That live stream was a disaster. I watched one of those videos on the internet that makes things look really easy, and so we got the silicone putty, and you can mold it for about 10 minutes before it completely hardens. And so I made a unicorn horn out of it, but it turns out they're so heavy. Like the silicone putty is like super heavy, so I don't think you'd be able to attach it to a horse's face. It would be so heavy it would droop, I think. Um, but crochet horns were another idea I thought about for the live stream. I don't know if that would be a super boring live stream because I don't know. It's so minute and fine what you have to do. I've actually crocheted. Do I have my crochet uniform? I don't know if I have it right here, but I crocheted one out of this silver yarn, and most of it is like really tiny little work that you're like trying to figure out which little stitch to work into. And I don't know if maybe it would be something we could do. Maybe it would be something we could do. Or again, just plush, like some sort of fabric that we just make a cone shape and stuff. We can figure it out ourselves. We can figure it out ourselves. All right. I give you permission to yell at me if you have at least 50 "We're here for you" cards. I don't get, wait, what is that? And I've been playing for you and praying for, oh, I think that's praying for you and your family. Thank you. That's sweet. The vet is coming out tomorrow, so I won't be in school. Oh, good, 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 good. There was a time when Artax had a swollen eyelid, and we just put some of the triple antibiotic ointment in it, and it was fine the next day. Never had another problem until his injury. But having two horses that have had to have eyes removed, and having discussed it with vets before, it's definitely a vet call, and I'm glad you got through to your parents. The plush stuff one made of fabric, wrap string around it. Yes. Sending you a package soon. That's sweet. Oh, for Liam's friend, thank you. Oh, Kelly's here. His has been cloudy for months. Then you know what? A vet visit is probably the best thing. I've been told by so many people that eyes are always an emergency. And by the way, I'm just working off a cone. This is a dishcloth I'm just working on right now. I've got my other horse hats, but this is just a cone of cotton um, yarn. You can get them for a couple bucks at the local craft store or fabric store or Walmart. I probably got this at Walmart. I should be sponsored by Walmart with all the plugs that I give them. I know they're a giant evil corporation and all that, but my God, this stuff is cheap and I'm poor. Okay. I do not have the privilege to buy all of my things like handmade and local and all of that kind of stuff. So I got to kind of work with what I've got here, y'all. Y'all got to work with what I got. Um, and the simple fact is, Walmart is in my budget. Okay, so we're just making a dishcloth because we're those kind of people tonight. So if I send her 50 cards about how we're here, oh, you're sweet. You're sweet, Evie. So we've got plush unicorn horns. Let me put that down here. Plush unicorn horns. There is someone in the Extra Equestrians group that makes those. If people are not interested, maybe I'll plug her in my live stream if people don't want to make it. Because like people all the time are ask me like why I don't sell the stuff that I make. And honestly, like making it to me, like I don't know. I don't necessarily make perfect creations. A lot of times my stuff has minor flaws in it, which is okay for me. And it's fun to make this stuff, but I don't know if it's like good enough to sell. And as long as it takes me to make stuff, sometimes I would have to charge an amount that I don't think the stuff is worth necessarily. So I would much rather go live and help show people how to do it themselves or share resources about where to buy it. Like if you're like, okay, I'm not going through all that. Fair enough. But that's my big thing is either teaching you how to do it or showing you someone who does sell it. And I know I don't make any money that way, which is why this channel needs to be bigger. So that somehow I can have the money to purchase supplies. This is not moonshine. I forgot to put on my lip gloss. Hang on, y'all. It's because we had a snafu at the beginning. Like YouTube changed the way they're doing live streams. And when you change something when I don't expect it, I panic. So. Perfect. It doesn't look like it changed at all. Okay. But now I feel better. Hit 1,300 subs. Yes. I know that feeling. I don't like being broke. Oh, I know. Built my own workbench. Sometimes though, like making stuff can actually cost more than purchasing it somewhere. And there have been times on the live streams where I'm like, okay, guys, I was planning on doing this, but this is so cost prohibitive. You just want to go out and, buy it. I remember 600 subs. I know. My little channel is growing. It is exciting. And I'm still at the point where I look at those numbers and get excited. And every once in a while, the numbers go down. Like I'll lose one or two people and I have to like remind myself, they just weren't extra enough, They weren't part of the community. It's okay. It's okay. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go. So what else do you guys want to see? Like, do we want to paint helmets again? Which I have another helmet that's black. Somebody mentioned online that the paint might void a warranty on a helmet. And I ride in cheap Troxel helmets because $20 is like all I can afford for a brain bucket. And I don't think there's any kind of warranty on them. Also, I don't use like spray paint or anything like that. I just use simple acrylic paints that you can kind of scratch off if you wanted to. So, I mean, I don't think that would damage any of the plastic or anything. But I have another plain black helmet that I am looking for ideas on what I should paint it as. And we can do that in one of the live streams. Let's see, we've painted saddle pads, we've added appliques, made appliques and added them to saddle pads. I covered a saddle pad with fabric. I still have to finish that. Where is that? So, but again, like I also thought about polo wraps. I don't use the reason I haven't is because I don't really use polo wraps. I don't even know how to wrap them, but I know a lot of people love them. The problem with polo wraps and doing them on a live stream is that it requires 9 yards of fabric because you can't piece any of it together. It has to be one long unbroken piece that is 9 yards long. And if a yard of fleece costs, $5.99 a yard, that's a little bit over my budget right now. But if I could find like a fun unicorn fleece, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could do that and make one set for me. Because 9 yards of fabric makes, I think, 4 sets of polo wraps. So, like, I could make myself a pair and then sell a couple on my Etsy store. I don't know. Anyway, that's an idea. So, what do you guys think? Do we need polo wraps? Um, Painted heat. Okay, I'm gonna write that down because I'll forget. Painted heat. I'll look that up after. I want to see you turn your mom or dad into a fairy queen. Oh my gosh, my dad is coming to visit in April. So, but I don't know. He's not into YouTube. My whole family, the reason like Liam is pretty much the only person who appears on my channel in my family because he's the only one that cares. Like my mom was in one of my videos once. We did my mom's terrified of horses. So I did a video with my mom where I got her up on our tags and she actually like helped groom and tack up. And she was adorable. She was like, every time he made a noise or moved, she was like, oh, um, and she might be coming to visit too in May. So I may have to my mom may be more game for it than my dad is. But my dad's like, ugh, YouTube. Got to trim a nurse mare. Aw. I know you love the draft, Zadel. Removable wide brims for helmets. I thought about that, like helmet covers. If I figure out how to make a plain pattern and then to make brims, because I wanted to make mine look like a witch's hat, like this. Like if I put a cone of fabric on top of the thing, or just make a witch's hat big enough with some elastic around the bottom so that you can slip it over. Brims for helmets. Another thing that I would love, I need to make a template for a helmet cover because another thing I thought of with helmet covers was to make them look like wigs. Like if I'm riding in my fairy queen outfit, if I have a helmet on and it's covered with something that looks like gorgeous teal hair and a big crown on top of it, maybe then it looks like I just have big hair and I mean, we'll still see the strap unless we like cover that with something the color of my skin, or is there I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, brims for helmets, fancy helmet covers. Like if I figure out how to make us a template, then we can add things on. Rachel in the Extra Equestrians group just made a fantastic unicorn helmet cover for one of the other members' children. It's got a unicorn horn and it's got like the eyes, there's ears, there's crochet mane curls. It is fantastic. Helmet covers. But maybe we can figure out how to do either a cheaper or easier version of that. Aw, bye, Evie. I'm probably going to have a new YouTube name. Well, then you'll have to reintroduce yourself. Oh, go check on that pony, Kayla. I'm thinking about you. I've got you in my thoughts, baby. Okay. Lots of good stuff in the package. Y'all are so sweet. Y'all are so sweet. So what else do we want to see? I'm thinking, did I write polo wraps down? I didn't write polo wraps down. Y'all can't trust me. Polo wraps. I'm glad I was going to do horse hats tonight, but I'm kind of glad I'm just doing a dishcloth because I am super distracted by thinking about what I am going to do with the live streams coming up. So, because we have so many new people in the Extra Equestrians group, and some of them, like some people just love extra tack and they just want to like buy the fancy, shiny, blingy stuff for their horses. But some of the folks in that room are artists and DIY folks. And I'm just really inspired by all of that. And I want these live streams to sort of serve that part of the community. I want to get us all making stuff for our horses. So I want like easy ideas as well as some that might be a little more complex. Like the Dragon Saddle Pad is going to take several more live streams to get finished. Like the next one will probably be after I get some fabric. It'll be us cutting it out, and or maybe I'll cut it out off camera, and then we'll do pinning and putting it together. I also want to have Adriana back and do some more like equestrian topics. Because I like having, sometimes I like just doing the craft itself or doing the art and figuring out the whole live stream is us figuring out the process. But sometimes I like to do like tonight where the craft is not necessarily so important. It's the topic that we're discussing, which tonight is what we gonna do. What are we going to do? I wonder if there's some kind of crochet or if there's some kind of crochet or I'm thinking like mane extensions or like little clips to put in horses' mane that aren't hair. Like I know people make hair extensions for their horses' manes and tails, but if we had like some sort of clips that we could just clip in, and I don't know if it would be something like this, like we add on to this, that's too big, but you know, to add ribbons and little crochet curls or lace or something to these little claw clips and then clip it in your horse's mane. That's something to think about. Fancy mane additions, accessories, mane clips. I'll put mane clips, fancy mane clips. So we can figure out that. Bye, you guys. Oh, and one blacksmith. Hee, yes. Sorry, got to scoot. Excited to see you come up with. Oh, thanks, guys. We're missing a lot of our chat people. If we lose everybody, I may just close up early. Close up. Like I said, y'all, I'm in my jammies. I'm going to bed right after this. I don't even think I'm going to stay up. I'm a rebel. Going to go to bed at 11 o'clock at night. Try and stop me. So let's see. What other things can we crochet or sew or paint? What about like a water bottle holder that we can clip onto the D-rings on our saddle? That might be something fun to do, and something that we could probably do easily out of scrap fabric. Just get like one of those carabiner clips or however you say it, like get a little clip, and we can make those out of old t-shirts or just old scrap fabric. All right. Saddle, bag, water bottle. What about like, I wonder if we can make phone cases, like, you know, those thigh holster things. I saw them online. There's one, I can't even finish the sentence. One of the sites that I was looking at had these gorgeous leather thigh holsters it was like a little purse, but you could hold your phone and other stuff in there. And they just look so cool, but the measurements would not go around my hips or my thigh. Like they were kind of like for regular people, not for plus size riders. Also, like the actual price of this thing was like $300. And I was like, that's like board for one of my horses for a month. That's a little steep, but I wonder if we could figure out how to make something like that. Like just a small bag that would have your phone in it. And then with a strap that goes around your thigh and a strap that goes around your waist or your hip. See, I need to go to bed. Saddlebag, water bottle. I'm gonna write down thigh holster. So future live streams, some of them will be those like we're figuring out something. I can't do that every week though. I don't have the resources or the time to um, figure it all out beforehand. Sometimes I got to fly by the seat of my pants on these live streams. So some live streams are going to be catch ups where I'm just like crocheting something or finishing painting something, or like last week we glitzed up Sunny's unicorn horn. Um, so there may be live streams like that where we can just chat about equestrian topics. Or if you have an equestrian topic that you'd like me to put on the list, such as bits. Like, do we want to spend one night? I can invite Adriana over. We can do something creative together and we can discuss bits, like which ones are good and which ones are bad. Because the FEI recently banned French link snaffles in dressage competition, I believe. I may have that information incorrect. Don't quote me on that. But I was always told that French link snaffles were like was those were one of the most gentle bits that you could put in a horse's mouth. And now there's people saying that no, they actually come down on the bars very harshly. They depress the tongue too much, and Artax doesn't seem to like his. And I don't know if it's just the bit itself or it's just Artax not liking bits. Like Sonny, you can put whatever you want in his mouth, and he's like, sure, whatever. But Artax, when I try to put the brakes on with him, he doesn't respond to seat. First of all, we're working on it. But then when I pull, he pulls his head up and wants to evade the bit. And I mean, he's not a very well trained horse, so a lot of that could be me sending him incorrect signals, but it could also be the bit. So, did you as a centaur? Yes, I saw that one. I did see the one with the centaur. I'll have to go back to your channel though and make sure I didn't miss anything. So hang on, topics. I don't know if we want to talk bits. I'm not a bit expert. Bits, bits and bitless writing. What else would be a good topic? I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like something that would appeal to a lot of different kinds of equestrians. I don't know. We could discuss how to choose a discipline. A lot of people just like ride their horses in their backyards and don't even think about things like that. Some people are super competition savvy and they know what they're doing. They know what discipline they're in, so they don't need help with it. But some people are like, do I do hunters? Do I do jump? Like, I want to jump. So what kind of lessons do I take? Or, do I want to do Western or English? Choosing a discipline. Getting feedback from the community. What about posting videos on my YouTube of me forging stuff? Don't know how to make it entertaining. You don't necessarily have to make YouTube video. Here's some YouTube advice. You don't necessarily have to be entertaining on YouTube if you are providing something of value to the community. So if you have forging videos, if you make them as educational videos, then people may find value in that. People who are interested in farrier work or horseshoeing or forging. If you do simple instructional videos or simple educational videos about what farrier work is all about, you don't even necessarily have to do anything with talking in it. If you put together a step-by-step of a process, it can be fascinating enough, especially if you add music to it, that people are just going to watch it because it's fascinating. So you don't have to be like a comedian or a special like personality. I put my personality on my channel because I'm mostly personality. Like I have some knowledge, I have some experience, but it's mostly me being ridiculous. So, right, do it. Terrified of using a bit outside, so I put the bit in to hold on to the rope halter. Oh my God, y'all, I think I'm about to sneeze. Hang on. Somebody bless me real quick. Usually when somebody says bless you before I sneeze, it stops it. I know that sounds weird, but I thought about writing Artax bitless because he is very sensitive. He's sensitive to pressure. He is so. I mean, he would, I think, respond to pressure on his face with a bitless rig. I'm not sure what kind of setup that I want to try, but I may try that and see if he responds well to that. But I don't know. So again, yeah, what else do we want to talk about? Topics or again, ideas for the live streams. Like, what do you guys want to make? I should set it up one time with, I should have Adriana come over and then set up the camera where you can see our hands drawing because it's so fun watching her make art either digitally or if you watch the digital drawing thing where I drew this ridiculous cartoon unicorn. Meanwhile, she's got this like glorious, shaded, beautiful masterpiece over there in the same amount of time. And I'm like, wah, wah. But hey, I'm not good at everything, and I am upfront about that. I don't know everything. I'm not good at everything. I will tell you guys when I have experience at something, but I will straight up tell you, hey, I don't know about that, and you need to consult an expert. I am not one of those people that likes to pretend I know things that I don't, even though I do like to come off as confident. I like to present an air of confidence. Maybe I ought to do a video on that. How to be confident. The secret is fake it. There you go. That's the whole video is how to be confident. Fake it. I still need to get a forge. Well, take Zadel, take photos. I know you have some photos and some video of you creating the forge, but then you can edit all of that together and make a how to make a forge video, which, you know, I'll bet you'll get some hits on that. But anyway, I think that's a great idea. Like use the footage that you already have, use photos, and then once you get the thing completed, if you're camera shy, you can do everything with text on the screen and like music and just sort of put it all together, or you can have yourself talking through the process of it, like write out a script. I know sometimes it may not seem that my videos are scripted, but all of my edited videos start with a written script. Sometimes I ad lib a little bit, but like I have it planned out what I'm going to do before I do it. Except for my live stream the other night. That was just, oh crap, I need to put something up on YouTube. Another piece of YouTube advice is to be consistent, to have a schedule. This is why I try to be really faithful to the schedule. Every Wednesday night, I'm here doing a live stream, and every Sunday, at some point Sunday, I will have a video, an edited video. Is there a cat out here? Is there Odin? Do you see my cat? Odin, do you want to come in? Bless him. All right, don't bring my curtain down though. Michelle, gosh. Okay, here we go. So Odin wants in. Facebook now is called Painted Heat. I've got that written down. I'm going to go check it out. Building a coke forge. I don't even know what a coke forge is, but it sounds like something that I would hurt myself trying to make. I wonder about art with horseshoes. Horseshoe art. That would mostly be just like painting it because I don't have any way to like cut them or weld them together, solder them together. I don't even know how you say it. Let me write horseshoe art. But when we used to do summer camps at a barn I worked at, we'd always do some sort of craft every day. And so the barn owner would all year long just collect extra horseshoes and stuff. And so then the kids would all paint them. Horseshoe art. But I bet I could find a couple of horseshoes and we could do some sort of horseshoe art. I wonder like stall nameplates, if I could figure out how to make stall nameplates, like paint the horseshoe and then put a little piece of something on the front. And you could hang it up with the, the nail holes. Why can I not even think about things right now? Oh my gosh, you guys. Coke is coal, but it's refined, so it burns hotter and cleaner. Ah, okay. I have my Sonny gets cold shoed. cold shod, where you just kind of nail the shoe on there, and that seems to be fine for him at this moment because he has navicular degeneration in his front feet, and he requires a bit of support. Odin, I hear you. Can you guys hear that? Wait. He is like clawing at the window. Bad kitty. Bad, bad kitty. He is so bad. He only wants to come inside so he can see if there's food. That's what Odin likes to do. He comes inside to see if there's food. And if there's no food down, we only feed him twice a day. So if it's one of those times where there's no food down, he's like, no, never mind. And then he wants to go back out immediately. He's a mess. Every once in a while, he comes in and he's like, wants to sleep in here. When it's really cold, he'll come in the house and sleep with me on my bed. Sweet, funny cat. All right, so what else do we want to make? I've got polo wraps. I've got helmet covers, um, educational videos on forging. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That would be amazing. And you can share them in the Extra Equestrians group too. Um, we've had a couple of spammers and sellers trying to get in there recently, and I don't want that group to become something that people just post stuff. Hey, buy my thing. I want it to be more of a community where if you make something, you can post it and be like, look what I did. I'm so proud of it. I have some for sale if anybody's interested. That's the kind of sales pitch I'm interested in, not, like there was one Facebook profile that just said US Polo or Polo something. And it was an account, it was a Facebook page from Pakistan. Not that that's bad. There are people from all over the world in the Extra Equestrians group, but there's like the only photographs on their profile there's no people in any of the photographs. It's just like horse equipment for sale. And I'm like, you're not an extra equestrian. I don't want you in my group. And so I declined that one. Then there were a couple from some Asian country that were trying to get in. And again, no horse pictures on their profile. They're only in like 3 groups and they're all like sales groups or something. But it's like, y'all aren't really who we're going for here. Like I hate declining people and turning them down, but I just don't feel like those people want to be part of the extra equestrian community, if that makes sense. So I have actually declined people lately. Right. There have been a couple people too, like I can't even click on their profiles. They click that they want to join. They don't answer the questions. And then when I try to click on their profile to see, it's like this page cannot be loaded. And I'm like, okay, no. Y'all about to be educated. Once took a horseshoe board and repeat the horseshoe, put pictures of the horseshoe in the middle. Cool. Oh, I thought like using the horseshoe like a paint stamper to create different designs. That's an idea too. Different kinds of horse art. Y'all, our audience is dwindling here, and so are my ideas. So I may cut this live stream short a little bit. If you're watching this on the playback, Odin, I can hear you clawing at the window. Quit it. If you're watching on the playback and you've made it this far, thank you so much. Please drop comments on what you would like to see in future live streams. Or just topics, equestrian topics that you would like to have discussed in the chat. Whether saddle fit, bits and bitting, the use of spurs, when does tack become abuse? I'm trying to think of some other topics that may be kind of hot topics for equestrians to deal with. Like I don't want to say controversial, but all right. I think I'm going to finish this row and check in with the chat and do a quick recap and then call this a night. Go brush my teeth and go to bed, y'all. I know. I've also thought about, I need to put up a poll on like what time we should do live streams. Like I may even change the day as well. I don't know. like to change the day and date and time because I'd like it to be accessible to more people. Because as it is, this live stream happens at like 3 a.m. in the UK, and so like none of the UK people can really watch the lives, can join the live chats unless they stay up until a ridiculous hour. Being up from 3 to 4 a.m. is crazy, especially if you have a job that you have to go to the next day. For Australian people, it's not as bad. It's like mid afternoon on Thursday, so they could potentially check it out. I know 3 p.m. Was Eastern time was a good one for everyone, but I also want to make sure, like, if people are working during the day, like, I may want to do it after work hours. I don't know, 3 p.m. may be a nice time. Okay, I'm not done with my dishcloth, but I finished that row. All right, hang on, y'all. Let's see what we've got here. So I've got doing a crown tiara, like doing the craft foam metal um, for that. Quarter sheets, maybe. Finishing the dragon saddle pad, doing plush unicorn horns, making brims for helmets, making helmet covers, polo wraps, fancy mane clips, saddlebag water bottle, thigh holster, and horseshoe art. I don't have a whole lot of topics, but we just started dealing with that like recently. So um, I don't know, maybe that's a topic for another live stream. So, okay, y'all, it is 10:47. It is almost 11. Thank you so much, Autism Centaur and Jungle Zadel and um, Madeline. And Evie and Kayla, everybody who is here tonight. Kelly popped in. And if you're watching this on the playback, thank you so much for being here. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And you can also check out the description box below the video for links to follow me on Instagram, to check out my Etsy store because I have t-shirts for sale in there and a couple of other handmade items. Also, I do have a Patreon if you want to check out my Patreon for either $1 or $5 or $10 a month. You can join the Patreon, and that gives you access. There is a secret Unicorn and Centaur group that is occasionally I will post blooper videos of things that outtakes from my videos. I will post rants. I will also crowdsource them for ideas. So like the Patreon is like the real inner circle of Unicorn and Centaur. And I only have 3 patrons so far, but they are all wonderful and amazing people, and they help keep everything going. So if you want to check out that and be a part, there's like perks you get with each of the things, each of the tiers. So just check it out if you want to. And as for everybody else, like I'll be back with another video on Sunday and then next week with another live stream. So thank you for being here. I love you guys.